All right, guys, so many of you might remember that I made a video pretty recently describing anti-lysyl oxidase. Basically, here's the video here. Check it out if you haven't seen it. But what it showed was that this paper in rats showed that if you simply give this substance called anti-lysyl oxidase to rats, it increases the size of their penis by 10% just by giving that alone. Then if you add on something like pumping, you can literally increase the size of a rat's penis by almost 20%, combining the anti-lysyl oxidase with pumping. You can see that in the data. Watch the video if you're interested in learning more. And of course, that prompted this whole series of questions like, oh my God, where can we get lysyl oxidase? Like, this YouTube comment here. First of all, how did they accomplish this? Well, what anti-lysyl oxidase does is it essentially remodels the tunica. So your tunica is this connective fiber that lines the penis. It's responsible for erections, and what that anti-lysyl oxidase can do is it can actually like remold the fibers and allow them to expand and then basically remodel into a larger penis. Why does that matter for us? Well, everybody wants to get their hands on oh my God, lysyl oxidase, I need some. But they fail to like grasp the point where I talked about how it is essential in all of these different functions, guys. So just listen to these organs where it's involved. The skin, the blood vessels, the heart, especially the myocardium, the muscle of the heart that actually makes your heart beat, the lungs, your bones, your joints, your eyes, and your GI tract. Lysyl oxidase is important for all of those different functions. So you can't just go about like blocking lysyl oxidase all willy-nilly. Yes, I'm in my 40s, I can say willy-nilly.
Cowabunga, dudes.
That being said, I was scrolling through this other subreddit, and I'm not even gonna mention their name because, I mean, honestly, it reminded me of when I first got on Reddit and saw some of like the unbelievably scary crap that people were doing, and this just multiplied it by ×5. And some of the advice that I was seeing and like what people were listening to was kind of blowing my mind. I don't even want to acknowledge that subreddit, but there wasn't actually like a really nice gentleman that was on there that I was talking to. I'm not going to put him on blast here just because I don't know if he would want me to. Whatever, it's Reddit's anonymous anyways. But there was this post about anti-lysyl oxidase, and the guy was like, oh yeah, it's the future, and here's a good reputable place where, well, I don't know, maybe he didn't say he's a reputable place, but he was talking about like all of the potential benefits and how even like this one drug that has been tested in human trials and it's safe and effective, going on and on about it. And I was kind of a douchebag, and I was in the comments, I was like, I just straight up said like, you guys are idiots if you're trying to take anti-lysyl oxidase. And he was actually courteous enough to respond to my negativity and douchebaggery with like a reasonable comment, and he said something along the lines of, there actually is this substance, this is what it's called PXS5505. I said, there's no proven like human clinical trials showing that this is safe or effective. And he said, actually, this one is, and he sent me a link. Once again, kind, courteous, really respect, hats off to that dude. So I opened it up, and I'll put a screenshot of basically the trial here, and I'll try to put a link in the description. But what they talk about is that this is a phase 1 study on this drug. And once again, the drug is called, I'll have my editor put it up on the screen, PXS5505. So first of all, what is a phase 1 trial? A phase 1 trial is like the very first step when you are developing a drug, and what they look at is actually like, is this safe to take? That's phase 1. Phase 2 is this effective? And phase 3 is basically, does it reach the objectives that we want it to reach? Usually it's in some sort of like randomized trial where you can test that it's both safe and effective and kind of finalize the drug, and then it gets sent off for the FDA for approval, more or less. I'm sure there's gonna be, actually, that's it in a nutshell, guys. Give me a break. Look it up if you want more detail. But anyways, this is a phase 1 drug, and yes, the phase 1 part of this did get approved. So technically he wasn't wrong by saying, like, they did their phase 1 trial and they reached their effectiveness goals, and now they're going on to their part 2, or phase 2 of the trial. But guys, you have to keep in mind, this is for people with myelofibrosis. This is not your average healthy 20-year-old guys. These are people with literally, myelofibrosis is a disease where basically your bone marrow, so it makes like your red blood cells, your white blood cells, it literally scars down. You have basically like a depletion of all of those important blood cells, and you die from organ failure amongst other things, but like you literally just don't make the red blood cells, the platelets, the white blood cells, all those things. This is not healthy people. This is also in people who have conditions like polycythemia vera, like a red blood cell disease, post-essential thrombocytopenia, guys. So once again, these are diseases involving your bone marrow, your platelets, and your red blood cells. Life-limiting disorders where, hey, it might be worth it to try to treat somebody with a drug that, yeah, it might be risky because it's anti-lysyl oxidase. Because once again, myelofibrosis, it's a scarring down of the bone marrow. Scarring, the whole process is basically a form of taking active, like smooth muscle tissue, red cells, bone marrow, whatever it is, and turning it into inactive forms of collagen or scar tissue. LOX is involved with that. So if you can block that lysyl oxidase, you can actually prevent that scarring. And that's what they're trying to experiment with for these diseases that are refractory to the standard medications, guys. Meaning the standard medications don't work, so we need something else. This isn't just your run-of-the-mill healthy guys. So no, this does not mean it is safe for humans, number one, because it's only in a phase 1 trial. But number two, it means that it is only for people that are like desperate and literally dying that they need a solution. So guys, the bottom line is like, quite honestly, yeah, like there is some promise in this drug. Like it could come to actually like fruition, but it would be certainly by prescription only, and more importantly, for people that are dealing with life-limiting diseases here. You're not just gonna be able to go on like SARMs.com or wherever your little SARMs goblin goes to like get this crap, these research chemicals and peptides. You're not gonna be able to just get this, guys. And it's years away from being available to the market. And more importantly, guys, if it's blocking your LOX, it can cause things like aortic aneurysms, which is how they initially developed this stuff, or multi-system organ failure, your liver, your lungs, your GI system, your heart, your eyes, you name it. It's just not worth it, guys. You don't need these products to, I know everybody's desperate to get bigger. I get it, guys. I get it. I've been there. There's safer methods to do it. But some of these guys doing chemical PE are like just like, I don't want to be mean, but just stupid. And like, I get it. They're desperate and they think they're smart. Oh, I'm researching this. I know a lot. Like, no, you don't. You don't. And you should not be experimenting with this stuff purely just for something as cosmetic as enlarging your D. Anyways, guys, I'm done with my rant. Research it yourself. Check it out, guys. You don't want anything that's going to block your lysyl oxidase unless you can just limit it to the penile tissue, which we have no ways to do that right now, okay? If you want to reach me, have a conversation with me, you just want to support me, you want to see some of my videos ahead of time, check out my Patreon, guys. Hink, okay? I really appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for listening to me rant and hot take Hink. I will catch you on the next one. Peace and love.